So, what does it mean to be in the flow of abundance? How to attain that state. So, I love helping my clients manifest what they want. In my experience, manifestation or materialization, which really is a preferable term for this, is when something that was wished for, visualized, wanted, is created in the energy world and then manifests, kind of pops into the physical world in our reality. And so for most of us, there is some work involved on our part to make this happen. Of course, you must have a strong intention and you must do the internal work, but you also must take inspired and aligned action when you feel prompted to do so, when you're guided, inspired to do so, right? It's a co-creative state. But there are some people, and some of them, have been my clients, who really shoot for to be in such a state of abundant flow that there is no efforting, right? No great effort, no action, no kind of a push needed on their part, right? They just sort of get into a state of attracting, and what they attract manifests, right? They just comes to them. And I certainly understand this wish, or I understand the desire to be in such a beautiful, abundant flow. And this is possible, right? This is possible. And I have seen people who exist in the state of flow, in the state of allowing. However, to reach this state, you must be in such a state of non-resistance and allowing that you are not really attached to getting what you want. So it's kind of a paradox, right? Like kind of like you want it because you attract it, but you kind of don't want it. It's like, well, how are you supposed to attain that state? How does this work? But that's really how it works. That's the energy. So for most of us, this is difficult because we still have wishes and desires. We want security, we want certain material things, we want our creature comforts, at the very least. So what can we do, right, to get to that state of allowing? What can we do to get even inch a little closer to that state of flow, or reach that state of that instant manifestation, right? So the key is to enter a state of abundance. But when I say state, I mean like to feel abundant, to feel good, at least most of the time, right? So you want to, in order to get there, because it's not easy for most of us, right? We feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to pay my bills, or this happened, or that happened, or we've gotten zapped, what I call, or we have little traumas that we carry throughout our lives, something that happened to us and we're afraid. All these things are kind of in our energy field and they influence us, right? So it's not always easy to be in that state of just like everything's great, everything's going to come up roses, I'm going to be okay. But that's kind of where we need to be. So in order to start on this path, if this is not easy for you, you want to start by asking your guides and angels to help you get there, right? Because, right, like we're stuck in a certain way of thinking. And if you really observe yourself, you might notice that you might be spending the majority of your time in a state of worry, running old thought recordings like, oh, what am I going to do? And oh, the future looks so murky and uncertain. How am I going to navigate the future? And what's going to happen? Oh my God. So if you're noticing that thought pattern, right, then you're probably not quite where you need to be to enter that state of manifestation and attraction. So you want to start by asking your guides and angels to help you enter that flow, to start feeling what that feels like. And if you can get to this state, right, work on it at least most of the time, or start increasing the amount of time you spend in that state of gratitude. Oh, that's another good one, right? You want to, if you sort of just work on making gratitude lists, because you cannot be grateful and fearful at the same time. So ask your guides and angels, start a gratitude journal. That's going to start expanding the amount of time you spend in that state, that high vibe state of allowing, of feeling good, feeling abundant, right? Then when that state increases, you're going to find that you're starting to attract and manifest like a magnet. It's quite miraculous. But to summarize, that's what it takes. So if you wish to be in a state of abundance, right? To be not just to be in the state of abundance, but to attract abundance, to be in that sort of a flow where you just imagine, like, I like to earn this amount of money a month. I like to live there. I like to, do this. Um, I want to be dipping my toes in the sand, on a beach. I think I'd like to be in Costa Rica. Whatever it is that you're, wishing for. If you're in a state of like, well, that's okay. I'm really happy where I'm at. I'm so grateful. There's so many good things in my life. I'm thinking predominantly positive thoughts. And then you put that out there like, oh, I see myself on a beautiful beach and I'm drinking an umbrella drink or whatever. You'll pull it in quicker and faster than you can expect, right? That's what it takes. So in order to get to that point where you're materializing without efforting, you got to just stop efforting, not be attached. And I know it's a tall order. It's very easy to say, like, oh, you got to feel good. And there's a reason that most of us are in that state of worry and, concern and uh, all that stuff. Okay, so that's it for today. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place.